on time, never too late, we all gon' shine. Somebody told me to sit and rewind, but I just move forward, man, life is divine. We're all stars and we in our own galaxy. We're all one, so I guess we're all family. It's never that serious, don't even know why you're mad at me. When life gives you lemons, you just add some honey. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. G-O-O-D-V-I-B-E-S. It's always good vibes, Guy is good, Guy and Shine. I've been working so hard, man, I need a break, so we book a flight to Miami. Call the man, then Guy and Shine in Miami. Man, I'm chilling with the family, hitting different beaches with the melodies, getting tan and burning all the calories. And you know we're getting lit on the live stream. Yeah, we did it for the IG. Shine is good vibes, yes, always. My boy Guy is good vibes, yes, always. This live stream is good vibes, yes, always. My whole life is good vibes, yes, always. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. G-O-O-D-V-I-B-E-S. It's always good vibes, we're Guy is good, Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Always
what's
good
up?
vibes.
It's your
All
boy,
our beautiful friends
Guy.
out there.
We live.
Get this Monday going, guys.
We live. With my boy Shine on the mic, and it's always good vibes. It's always good vibes with Guy and Shine. G-O-O-D-V-I-B-E-S. It's always good vibes. Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes with Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes with Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes, always on time, never too late, we all gon' shine. Somebody told me to sit and rewind, but I just move forward, man, life is divine. We're all stars and we in our own galaxy. We're all one, so I guess we're all family. It's never that serious, don't even know why you're mad at me. When life gives you lemons, you just add some honey. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. G-O-O-D-V-I-B-E-S. It's always good vibes, Guy is good, Guy and Shine. I've been working so hard, man, I need a break, so we book a flight to Miami. Call the man, then Guy and Shine in Miami. Man, I'm chilling with the family, hitting different beaches with the melodies, getting tan and burning all the calories. And you know we're getting lit on the live stream. Yeah, we did it for the IG. Shine is good vibes, yes, always. My boy Guy is good vibes, yes, always. This live stream is good vibes, yes, always. My whole life is good vibes, yes, always. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. G-O-O-D-V-I-B-E-S. It's always good vibes, we're Guy is good, Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine. It's always good vibes, we're Guy and Shine.
Yeah. Trying something new out, guys. Good vibes to all of our beautiful people out there. Appreciate y'all being here on this Monday. Man, we're getting it going. It's the 23rd. Happens to be my dad's birthday, too, so happy birthday to my dad. Let's see here. Let me get my... Hey, there I am, man. Got my face up there now, man. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Appreciate y'all being here with us, man. Thank you for being here. This is Guy and Sean, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Always good vibes, my friends. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, that was our new little AI intro right there. Doggone good, I thought. I was pretty proud of it. I mean, I didn't have to I didn't have to try to turn a phrase with that one. I just let it do it, and it did it. So shout out to it, man. Done a good job for me, man. Let's see who we got. Hey, Miss Patty, appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming by and hearing my song. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's my new one. It's up on it should be available everywhere now. It's called Head Over Heels. Find it anywhere you find music. I appreciate all you guys that's been so super supportive and just kind of encouraging and everything, because that's always super motivating. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hey, brother Desi, what's up, man? What's up? Let's see, what did we say? Let's see. You got Miss Pat Gen X. I'm trying to find. Did a minute. Hey, Guy and Shine. Good to see everyone. Good vibes. Absolutely good vibes. Hooty hoo. Gen X in the house. I see you, man. I see you, man. What's happening, brother? Good job, guys, last night, man. I was over with you for a little while, and then I had to call it quits. I looked. It was almost midnight, and I'm like, yeah, it's good vibes, good night. I was done I was done. But brother Desi in the house, appreciate you, man. Shout out to all of you guys, man. I had an outstanding weekend. It was my daughter's birthday Friday, and my Aunt Chris and Uncle Jerry and Aunt Melinda, they came in, had a good trip coming in, and just had a wonderful time visiting with everybody. So shout out to you guys if you're out there listening. I know they do. I appreciate you guys. I loved having you, and it was just outstanding. And I appreciate the welcome that you provided for my daughter. So just thank you, and good vibes, always good vibes. I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. Miss Patty, thank you again for coming by and hearing my song. It's an older song that I've had for a long time, but I appreciate you stopping and enjoying it. Thank you. Yeah, it was good vibes, good night for me last night, brother. I was like, whew, all right, that was a party. I'm out. That's a shame. But hey, there's Brother Shine up in the house. What's up, Brother Shine? I see the side of your face side eyeing me now. He was side eyeing me with the side. I had a side view going on.
How's it going, man?
Not too bad, man. Just trying to do a little something new. As I told you before we come on, I thought I had me a good little intro put together, and then I forgot to extend the music out long enough to go with the intro, so I had to pull off a little bit of. I had to do something different. It wasn't purposeful, but it was different. Yeah. Well, when we're learning these things, I guess I should have went back and made sure the song went the whole time that the video went.
I live and learn, right?
Yeah, so it was a little shorter than I expected, but so is pretty much everything else in my life. So it's. How was your weekend, man?
It was good, man. Busy, but it's hot, very, very hot up here, including today. So I got a little pool time in yesterday, which you can only go into here because I don't want to get any water in the ear kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
But it was hot. Like it was almost so hot that taking like a breath is like, ooh, man, like, just heavy, heavy air. So, but good, man. It was good to see a few people. I haven't seen, you kind of winter, everybody hunkers down, and now people are getting back out. So it's nice to see people back outside doing stuff and barbecuing and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Hey, man, I like that. I like the warm weather, but the problem is you get the humidity with it around here. Usually, yeah, or I don't want to say use it, but a lot of times you get the humidity with it. Man, that's the part that really I think affects like older folks and people with troubles, man, because
Yep.
just so thick, dude.
That and like I know like talking my own grandparents, like their breathing and their joints, if they got any kind of arthritis stuff, really affects them winter and summer. Usually they're not so bad spring and fall, but yeah. But anyway, then the kids are going to be done school this week, so yeah, they'll be that. So they'll be done Friday, and then
That is
out
awesome.
till August long, I think.
Man, they don't get much. They don't get much. I mean,
No, no,
y'all don't, because
no,
our kids have been out for a couple weeks now.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they've been out. They've been out for a couple weeks.
no way.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I was
thought it
trying
was
to. I
longer
was
when I
trying
was
to.
younger. Like I thought we were done. Like when I went to school, I was pretty sure we were done in June, like beginning of June, and we didn't. We weren't back till sometime in September. I
It was
remember that.
September like 5th or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you'd go back to school for a day or two, and then it'd be what is that? Labor Day.
Labor Day. Yeah,
Labor Day.
yeah.
And then you'd get off for that, and then go back to school. It'd be like, well, why didn't you just let us off till after
Yeah, I
Labor
know.
Day? And we always, but now, well, now they cut it back now. Like they go back to 20th or 20 something of August, and then they get out. Like we used to get out. It seemed like I don't know, like the end of May, June, something like that, depending on how
Yeah,
many snow days. Now
yeah.
they still get out about that, but they go back. They go back quite a bit
The
earlier than
snow
what
day
we did.
clause. I remember my son was not impressed about that last year because they had missed so much time because we got so much snow, and then it extended it into July because like they have to make up. So I don't know what the calculation is, if it's day for day or what it is, but if they don't hit a certain mark in the curriculum, right, they can't say that they've signed off and go to the next grade. So
Right.
choice was either stay or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah. Hey, Miss Patty said she loves your new song, man. She said, Sean, your new song is great. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Miss Patty, for all
thank you
that
very
support.
much. Thank you very
Appreciate
much,
that.
Patty.
Desi says I like his last two songs too, at Patty. Desi, thank you for your support, man. I see you out there all the time, man. Just outstanding member of the community. We appreciate that. I do. I can tell you, man. It's just cool to have people that that like on this kind of platform, the consistent ones and the ones that's there. You kind of what's up, what's going on, and it's just it makes it really cool as a host, as two people trying to run a show. You guys are a big part of the show. I found out that no matter how much work I do behind the scenes, it always winds up being a comment or a way that we get steered off into a conversation. No matter what I might have been thinking of before I come on, it'll steer a lot of times in a totally different direction just because
Yeah,
of our
yeah.
and that's cool, man.
No,
That's
I
really cool.
appreciate it. I was listening, guys. Thank you for your kind words. I'm just trying to work out with my son because we got this new radio system, right? So
You upgraded.
he's like, you weren't answering on the radio. I'm like, sorry, command post was down for a
That's a
minute.
big upgrade from the string in a can. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are going to be
Oh
so
yeah.
surprised, man. You don't yeah, I mean, it's amazing,
You
bro.
won't even know. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't need
yeah.
a cord. It's cordless,
Yeah.
wireless. Yeah.
Man, I'm free.
Yeah.
That's
It's
pretty
good.
cool though, man.
It's good though, because I mean, like, you know how, same as when I was young. You say you're going one place, but then you're 15 different places, right, around the
Yeah.
neighborhood. And now I can get a hold of you better that way. Plus, I don't want him having a cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, he's still
Yeah.
young for that. It's like,
That is kind of cool though. I mean
yeah,
that I
he just
mean
clips it on his belt. Him and
yeah.
his buddies, they all got
Yeah.
different ones, different
Yeah.
channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our kid had one. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, break 1 9. You got a copy on me. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
man.
It's the Southern Dandy, the mouse is in the
Yeah.
pond.
Yeah. It was. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. And you can kindly, if you want to do, you could. I mean, you teach them how to use it. I mean, like how to use an actual walkie-talkie. Might never know. I don't know.
Oh, I'm
Might-
still trying to get him to be like, buddy, you need to hold the button the whole time
Yeah.
you're talking, because it'll be like, "Hoot, Dad, click, hoot, Dad."
And then you got to let it go so I can answer you.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to push it for every word.
Yeah.
Just push it.
Oh
hold.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Or-
that's great stuff.
The Morse code is not meant just to hold the button in. It's not. You get it. Yeah.
We'll get a sound bite of him here when he arrives at his next destination. It'll come on and be like, Daddy, I made it to whatever. It's like, all right, we're good. We're good.
That's so
But, yeah,
cool, man.
It gives you peace of mind, right? Because like
It does.
they get going quick, and I mean, he something happened with his bike, and he was pretty far away. And it was one of the days it was hot, right? Like Friday night, it was quite hot here, so he ran up. It's probably about a 15-minute walk, so like a couple minute bike ride. And something happened where like his chain derailed, and he couldn't figure it out, get it back on. So rather than like leave it or drag it, like he just on the
Yeah.
radio, Dad, my bike's broke down. It's like I'm on
Broke
my way,
down
bro.
bike.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I,
Like,
I
all right.
understand.
Yeah. I'll be there in a minute, buddy. Don't
I've
worry
broke a
about
bike or two down.
it. Yeah. It is your bike, right, son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's yours, we'll come
Yeah,
come
that's
get it.
right. Yeah.
Oh man,
No.
that's great though, dude. I am glad to see this warm weather, but I do hate to see it get so miserable. Like I
Yeah.
mean,
Did
I
y'all have the wind and stuff down there too this weekend? Because we had tornado watch warnings up here.
well, now we've had some severe thunderstorms and stuff this past week.
Yeah.
But it's just that's what it's from is I guess the heat, causes them evening time or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But there for a couple days, man, heck, it wasn't just evening time. It was a whole line of them coming through from out
Yeah.
west and working its way through, coming in our direction with tornadoes and
Mm.
the one time I seen that it wasn't this year, it was a couple years back. I think it was a derecho hit just not, hit a part
Holy
of
smokes.
just right. I mean, and that's crazy to think about wind blowing like that for solid for that like
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's straight line wind at, however many mile per hour, 80, 90, 100 mile per hour,
Yep.
straight line, just I mean, dude,
Wow.
and like with the derecho, man, it pushes down and then spreads out.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
like, I mean, it's a crazy. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
much about it. Obviously, I'm not a meteorologist,
Mm-hmm.
and the only reason I can say that is because I know that.
Yeah.
Anything else I'm saying is all just me watching Discovery Channel and the Weather Channel. But
So
hey,
you're
the
already
thing
halfway there, man.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, right. I mean,
Base.
I'm like a journeyman.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm pretty much a storm chaser, except you probably don't want to go with me. Like, right? I mean,
You
I don't
turn
have
the
a crew
camera
yet.
on.
I don't
Yeah,
have a
turn.
crew yet. I got to prove myself. But anyway, yeah,
Lone
it's supposed to.
wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break 1-9.
Mhm.
But,
Right.
but yeah, man, I do think that kind of stuff is interesting. But we do have some crazy weather, like in the United States, like west in the west and mid east, midwest, and all that kind of stuff. Certain times of the year, like tornadoes, and more
Oh
like
yeah.
down like towards where Brother Tommy's at, like
Yeah.
in Tennessee, or not
Yeah.
Tennessee,
We'll
but
see
Texas.
that up here because like anything that usually hits Texas, we gotta get ready for it to eventually because it'll come up the coast, right? But what I noticed the last couple of years is it's not sustained. Like it'll blow through quick, and I mean like 10, 15 minutes. But that 10, 15 minutes, I mean all the treetops are smashed. Like it just
Right.
boom. It was
The
crazy.
bad.
Oh yeah, yeah, messy man. We had a few bad ones a couple of years ago. One hit Halifax, which is in Nova Scotia, where well DTR's in Nova Scotia. I think he's in Dartmouth if I remember, which is not far from Halifax, and that just leveled the city, similar to what
Dang.
happens down there, man. Yeah,
Dude. Well, I know you guys do have a lot, similar stuff. It's just kind of different timing,
yep,
you
yep,
know.
exactly. And you're always hoping it's gonna because the way it kind of follows the jet stream or whatever it is. It's like, oh, we're not sure if it's gonna hit or if it's gonna go out to sea and like whatever. So, but they have got worse over the last couple of years. Like it'll probably be thunder and lightning here before long because it's just that gray overhang in the air right now. So,
Yeah. It'll
yeah,
probably I haven't looked at the news or nothing yet today, but I would say I mean, as warm as what it is, it'd be a darn good evening that it could work itself into a little thunderstorm,
yeah, yeah,
get a pretty good one. But those ones, they're the ones that are like you don't ever really know exactly where it might pop up. Like it might pop up over here, it might be over it might be 20 miles out the road, but when they do pop up, they're pretty good ones. You know, like
Yeah,
dang
like
man,
wow. Yeah,
don't
no,
get hit by lightning.
yeah, I feel for anybody who's gone through something like that in a severe kind of way, whether it's
Oh, dude, them
flooding or
floods and
winds or whatever,
man,
man.
dude,
Yeah.
everything you own getting washed away. I mean,
What
dude,
it,
there's so many places around here that locally that
yeah.
just in the past couple years, dude, it's just been absolutely. Seems like it's just been relentless. It like man, they just keep on getting hit, just keep on getting another part of
That's
it damaged. You know,
that's what I was gonna ask. Is it like because like I mean you see different stuff on the news and what have you, and that was my question: is it a reoccurrent thing that's happening to the same places, or is it that they just been hammered so hard that they don't get rebuilt?
man, well, the thing is, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a great question. The thing is a lot of it basically comes down to there's not enough there's enough heart and soul and spirit
Mm-hmm.
to do it, but there's not enough resources. So by the time they
Uh,
get a chance to maybe get back, another one happens, or man, they've got to move on and make life somewhere else because, bro, we got to eat and
mm-hmm.
have shelters. So once they get that going somewhere else, they're like, well, why would we
Why
go
would we
through the
go?
trouble of trying, So, I
I
mean,
get
I
that.
think there's a two and threefold answer in there with
Yeah.
that. But in our area, I think a lot of it boils down to like, okay, you got 50 homes that need to be built, but if you live in the middle of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and there's 50 homes that need to be built way back in these hollers and all this kind of stuff, some people don't even know that they got their stuff ruined
Mm-hmm.
because they're poor and it wouldn't do you no good to know.
Yeah.
But then there's not enough people that can build homes. That there's not enough suppliers to supply this stuff. There's not
Good.
enough equipment to go dig foundations because these foundations you can't rebuild on them. If
No.
you are going to rebuild, you're going to have to clear that out, and you're going to have to start back from scratch.
Wow.
And most likely, if you were in a flood zone,
Yeah.
then you're going to have to deal with getting up out of the flood zone or whatever the rule is to get yourself in a spot where you can get insured. I mean, it's just ridiculous the red tape. And then, of course, even if you didn't have the red tape, I still can't say that much would be better because how many people can you fit into one
Mm,
spot to go to work at one time? And there ain't that many dang people there.
no.
It
No.
just
No.
ain't.
I.
As far as there's a lot of people that need help, but they can't all like. I mean, they got to go back to work,
Yeah.
or they
Life
got
has to
it's
continue, right?
it's like yeah, they
Yeah.
can't just. But it's so odd, dude. It's just such a terrible, terrible situation for families to have to be in. Man, it sucks. It
It's.
does.
I see a comment there from Off Grid World. Yeah, a lot of insurance companies won't insure anymore. I know in Alberta, so it's just north of Montana, right on our side of the border. There's a little town called High River, which is an interesting name for the incident that occurred. So they claimed like we had this once in 100 year flood. I don't know if it was on the news down there, but this
Yeah,
thing
we have a
started.
lot of once in 100 year floods every couple
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah,
We had three back to back to back, right?
couple every 500 years right in a row.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was gonna live that long.
It's like, what are the odds of that, right?
So how's that happening?
Yeah, but what they did there, that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, the people, it was a newer development, so they didn't know they were on a floodplain. This flood comes through and just washed, everything was gone. There was nothing left. So that was a big thing. And what they offered, I know the government had some involvement with that, was we'll move you or you can rebuild here. But if you do and this happens again, well, you're on your own, right? So some people chose to leave, some people chose to stay, and unfortunately, the exact same thing happened the following year. So those people no longer
Yeah,
had a claim or anything. I can't imagine, man.
man.
Cannot imagine.
It well, and like with FEMA,
Yeah.
well, they have a cap that they pay, and if your properties or if you're if if you reach that cap, well, what if you don't have the other 50,000? I don't have another 50,000 I could
Yeah,
throw
where
at
am I gonna
anything.
find this money. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, that's what I'm saying. I would
Well,
have a hard time secure. And then, okay, you're living in a town where that, it's going to be hard to secure a contractor to do it, even if you got the money, because they're probably trying to rebuild their own stuff
mm-hmm,
and help
mm-hmm,
other people out. So it's like, man, they're put in it. It really, man, seeing it up close and personal, and how
yeah,
like it just kind of is like a snowball kind of effect that happens.
mm-hmm,
It's like, dang. I mean, there's a lot that has to go back into rebuilding the spot, and for the families that's living through it, that some of them, man, you
yeah,
can't blame them. They had to just pack up and roll because they got
no,
kids, and they gotta go back to work. They ain't got time they don't have the time or money to do what they really need to do, and a little bit of money maybe they got for what they had ain't even enough to hire a piece
no,
of equipment to come in and clean it up enough to get started.
wow,
It's just it is a terrible, terrible situation. And I seen your comment, Gen X, and yeah, I mean, I do know that there's some things like that are available in the area, and I don't doubt it. I do not doubt that they're wanting some of this stuff for
I
mining, but this is
heard
my
that.
fear. Just like how they did with the coal mines. They come in, they make a lot of people from out of town rich and companies from overseas rich, and then when they're done with what they got, they roll out, and then that part of the world's left back to barely getting by, being in a food desert, and businesses shutting down because everything is based around the mining industry. So,
That's where
I
they
just
need a more sustained pull out method. It's called
they
something like
do.
that up here, where it's like, okay, you're allowed to take so much, and you're gonna figure out the pace and how much you're allowed to take it out, so that this doesn't happen
Well,
again.
and
You
you
know,
think
like,
about like how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
yeah,
millions of dollars
oh
that's
yeah,
going to make, then I think that there should be some applied assets built. If you're going to
absolutely.
bring for example, if you're going to bring a mine in and you're going to buy it from out of the country, I don't have whatever. I mean, commerce is commerce, so I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying nothing about that, but if you're going to come in, you're going to mine our riches, and you're going to take this out, then I believe that there should be some type of stipulation that because you're coming into an economy that it would only take a couple $100 million invested in it, and you could double and triple its and maybe quadruple its value.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there should be some stipulation that businesses are built
Mm-hmm.
and built up, and
Yep.
then they are provided that's part of that community's. Now that's part of that community's, like, you know,
Infrastructure as like
infrastructure.
permanent infrastructure.
If you're going to come in
Yeah.
and you're going to make all this money, hey
Yeah.
man, then there should be septic, and there should be water sewage
Yes,
plants
sir.
and all this kind of stuff, and it should be on their dime, because you're going to abuse the crap out of the natural resources that we got. Now help us out and
That's
create something that's
yeah.
sustainable for our people,
I agree.
because man, I mean, it's feast or famine around here, guys. Like in
Mm.
some of these areas, man, it is so odd, bro, because I can get up out of my chair right now, get in a vehicle, I can drive 45 minutes and be in a different world. I can drive 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and be in spots where you're like, you can just look around and tell that it's a hard knock spot, and and it's probably a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things hard to come by, including food
Mm-hmm.
and shelter, and just basic, what we call basic living,
Basic needs, basic human
proper.
needs.
And it's not
Yep.
because the people, hey man, it's just because they don't have nothing else. I mean,
There's
when you ain't
nothing
got
to
nothing
go
else,
to get.
it's like in the city, at least you got somewhere that maybe you can catch a bus or a ride or somewhere like that. Well,
Yeah.
where in the hell are they going to catch a bus or a ride to down in,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it don't
Yeah.
work that way, man. It's like,
Wow, bro.
so I
Well,
just,
your idea is good because, like, I seen that work for Big Oil. Like, what they did was they had royalties on the oil companies, right?
mm,
So they had to pay so many billion a year, and that money had to go into hospitals and schools and all that
yeah, and
stuff.
I'm
Like,
not talking about like a blase tax that goes into this
mm-mm.
kit. No,
No, no.
it's a
Yep,
royalty or a payment to
that's
this
right.
town
That's
for
right.
its people, We help these people establish jobs, stores, things that bring life to this area besides you robbing our stuff and in 20 years us be back in worse shape than what we're in because now you've took it from us too.
Hmm.
Because that's all they did with the coal mines. They come in, they raped and pillaged. They didn't bring nothing for nobody else to really want to be here for other than the coal miners to come in and dig the coal and roll. But then when they don't want it, then they're done with it and they're gone.
Oh, they
And
don't.
little
Yeah, they don't care. The quicker they can get
creeks,
it, they
rivers,
go.
towns in the area,
Hmm.
businesses start shutting down because there is no infrastructure that was built to sustain anything else. Once it's gone, there ain't nothing else.
With
You got
yeah,
to build infrastructure in order for anything else to want to be there. So if you get proper sewage, proper water, proper things, roads paved and bridges built and things like this done, the next thing you know, you got businesses that want to be there and stay
hmm
there, and they
they
will, and they'll
can stay
thrive.
there because they
And it
have
don't have to
what they
be a
need.
damn dollar store or a Walmart. It
No,
can be,
something that generates, some kind of prosperity for the area.
yes.
I'll
And
use
it
that
doesn't
word.
go to some, foreign
Mm,
entity. And I'm not, when I say foreign, I mean just as far as in our state foreign. Like, no, spend it in this area. You're raping and pillaging this
mhm,
area. Now
mhm,
spend it in this area and
mm.
bring these people back. Give them something to work with because they're beautiful, smart, intelligent people that they've been forgotten about, man. The money's been spent and gone and it's shipped somewhere else. It's shipped to another part of the state or another part of the country or another part of the world.
Yeah,
No, man, there should be some
yeah.
type of rule when you come into a little town like this or a little area like this and you're going to rape and pillage its minerals, then
Mhm.
there should be some type of rule that it's mandatory that you have to invest a certain percentage in that confined area. Like it cannot leave the
I-
mile
Is
of
the
this. It has to
coal
be right here.
or was the coal business, much like how the business was up here for a while till people figured out what was up, where they monitored themselves, like their own body monitored them so
Oh,
that
I don't
the
know all the ins and
okay.
outs, but I do know
Because see,
that like
that's the first step in the wrong direction. If they're allowed to monitor themselves on
all years,
how and
yeah,
what they no. So like
yeah.
I really hope if they do some of this mining or whatever they're talking about that they've there's people there hopefully that are like, no, we're not getting fooled by this, sleight of hand again because it has to start locally and it
It
has to.
does, man, and learn from the mistakes of the past. We let it I don't want to say we when you're poor, you don't you're man. When a job comes in and your family can get a good job, then I get it, man. You do what you got to do, but they come in and take advantage of the fact that they don't have to invest nothing in your little area. They just give you a few little petty jobs. The real money
Hmm.
goes somewhere else, and in this area, the roads are going to get eat up with coal trucks and equipment, and they're going to, pillage and rape the land for all they can, just like this comment Gen X has right
I
here.
was reading
Perfect.
that while you were
And you're left
talking.
with a
Yeah.
destroyed county, flat top mountains, silt pools that are fully contaminated with runoff that will never allow life to grow for 500 years. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I,
man.
I really
It
like your little logo thing, whatever that's called. I don't know what the right word is for that. That's cool, man.
right here.
Yeah, you
That.
too. But Gen X's new one, did you
Oh,
notice?
his logo. I didn't
It's
know. I
it's a
can't see
side
it.
shot of the handsome fella.
I
Yeah,
can't see it
you can't
like
you
that.
can't see it. Look at take a look there. Look at that.
Yeah, I can.
That's
Oh yeah, yeah, dude, I
yeah.
like it.
That's
Look
cool,
at him
dude.
go! I tell you what, man, I like that dude.
Yeah.
He's just cool, man.
Hmm.
That's cool, man. Dang it.
Excellent
Well,
work.
dang it. I had to get
Yeah.
me a new one too. I can get me a side shot too. I bet. Hey, if I can, I'll have to pan out a little farther because I do got it is. I got to. I
Yeah,
do have pretty good nose. I ain't gonna lie. So I have to
got the
give it
nose.
like a long. I have to get the long shot. Like you got to pan out so that you can get all mine. Because that's so fun, man.
Amanda says, I'm not able to listen to you guys right now, but you look very serious, guy. Oh, he's
Well,
super
I
serious.
I
He was on point though. We were having
my
a discussion
my
there.
heart's in the
Yeah,
right place because
yeah.
I feel like that there's some common sense things that if we demand as a people in this area and very close by in proximity to me. You know that the change is not you give us $2 more on the hour, we get union wages, or
No.
you get no. The change is that now this company that's got all the smarts and brilliance to do this coal mining, now they're going to take that smarts and brilliance and they're going to invest this amount of money into this particular mile radius zone, and we're going to build you an infrastructure that will last when we're gone.
Yep.
And it will be important when we're gone.
Yep.
Because what they do is they come in and they make that coal mine the most important place.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that coal mine goes, well, what happens? Everything
goes.
else is gone.
Yep.
Because there is nothing else for anything else to be there. So I feel like that you take all the brains and ingenuity that it goes into building them coal mines and let them hire some people that are trained in how to build infrastructure and businesses and create things and create townships and you know, bring revenue in for always and forever, not just for when you're here taken from us, and then leave us with a generation of people that don't have nothing really
Look
to
at the
choose from in some
less
cases,
than
man.
nothing in most cases. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, reasonable. The only other option is to go get a little $9, $10 an hour job that won't even pay half of a rent payment these days.
No.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. No, there's
you know,
ways of doing it better.
man, I have I have my feelings on it, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
I
double-edged
do.
sword. I can imagine from seeing, like, I just remember
Oh,
watching a
man.
documentary on your area from back in the day, and like it was like
Yeah.
everything's booming and bustling. I was like, are you kidding me? And now this is listed as like the poorest area in America. Is that right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
dude. Yeah, McDowell
Yeah.
County
So
in
like
the
it was
world,
like just in the world. Holy smokes,
in the
man.
world.
So, yeah, we need, like, people need to learn from that and never let that happen again.
Never let it, but it shouldn't be. That's my point.
No, it
Is
shouldn't
if
be. But
proper investment and
Yep.
rules and mandatory rules in place, then that could have been, you know, you take the same want and drive that you got to take all of our stuff from us and invest equally back into it.
Yeah.
Not just with so-called reclamation mining that just like Clint said, it just makes a flat top mountain and you purdy it up a little bit with some, you know, pushing this around and pushing that around, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like that didn't help us a bit. All that did was take away from the natural beauty of our land.
Yep.
And then you're gone. So I just feel like that there should be some type of way to make it more fair, especially
There are ways that, I mean, the billions of dollars these companies are already forecasted before they put a shovel in the ground that they know they're going to make.
Yeah.
Right then and there, it's like,
Yeah.
this is how much is going here, and this is
Yeah.
how much, or you can piss up a rope, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Yeah, because
already
they
doing it.
know
We're
they
already
know
doing it.
how much they can mine out of that. They
Oh,
can
yeah,
see
they
that
do.
coal seam,
Yep.
and they know how much they can mine out of it. So they
Oh, yeah.
know, like, this is what we're going to be able to make. Here you go, Amanda. It says,
Is that
numbers-
Bob Ross?
yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Because like when I seen Gen
Yeah.
X's painting or like whatever
Yeah.
you call those little things, I was like, looks like Bob Ross painted that.
Yeah, hey, I love it. Yeah,
That's-
man.
I thought it was Adam Sandler for a second because I could only see the eyes up.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, the
It's Bob
Sandman.
Ross, man. We bought it at Spencer's the last time we took the
Oh,
kids to the
great
mall.
guy, yeah.
Oh, we bought it. I like Bob Ross, man. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
just a cool dude, and he was, man, killer. Just the way that he could do paintings, and
I'm going to do
man.
a full landscape from memory.
and you know,
Yeah.
he done 3 of each, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 paintings every episode that you seen. Yeah, Zachary was telling me about it because Zach likes Bob Ross.
Yeah, me
And
too. I watched
he
them
was
all.
telling me that each one of his paintings that he did 3
Mhm.
of that one, you know,
Yeah.
I guess they kind of just say it ain't a one off. I do it
Yeah.
again. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
you know, I guess I don't really know if that's why he did it, but
Nah,
I
they had
you know,
I don't know if it was Netflix or who, but somebody did a documentary like on his life and stuff like that, and like, you know, how he got into it. Man, he got a like pretty raw deal on the first one. I don't know if he recouped after, but like that show that he was on, like he'd be filming like hours and hours of this show right for them because they were gonna make season and season and season. And
Yeah.
they were saying he was like still like living in a van doing his paintings and
Hey,
stuff. I'm like, man,
living
how
in a
that man
van
not
down
get
by the
paid?
river.
Yeah, you know where you're gonna end
Yeah.
up in a
Yeah.
van down by the
Yeah.
river. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it knocking, but you can't come in.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
I don't even know. Hey, that's one of them numbers that you're like, I don't even know. I wouldn't answer it even if I wasn't on live stream. I wouldn't answer that one because you always wind up with something stupid.
I'm laughing at that, Gen X, but is that for real? Like, it was that the cure? The doctor's like, smoke a J, watch 2 episodes of Bob Ross for 3 weeks, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
I believe you too. I do.
Yeah, probably.
I do.
I've
I
met a few of
believe you.
those doctors. Yeah.
And you know what? That's a pretty good. Like, you know, hey,
Oh,
you
there's
know,
nothing more
that's pretty good
soothing.
treatment. They're like,
Smelling
well,
the
okay
wood
then,
on
doc.
Shade in the green evergreen trees with a slight
Yeah.
curvature on the breast.
We'll put a little happy little mistake. We'll put us a happy little
Oh.
flagpole right here, man.
Yeah, oh, you made a
Yeah, man.
mistake? No, you didn't.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll put us a little fence right here, man. Yeah. I love it. I love it, man.
Absolutely.
He said my blood pressure average dropped because of it. I believe that.
Mm.
I do believe that actually. I mean, no kidding. All jokes laid aside, because
I believe it. Yeah, man.
you
He's a
just-
super common dude.
Yeah.
Like, it just
Well,
his
and
voice
art.
and the way he talks and yeah,
and
but
seeing
he's-
art come to life in front of you
yeah.
in real time is
Yeah.
always
And what,
fascinating.
he did that in a half-hour show or something?
Yeah, it's a half-hour
Yeah,
thing.
it's a half hour. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a half hour is just like here's
Yeah.
another masterpiece. See you next week.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Pieces of garbage. I'm Bob Ross. We're
I
out.
always liked how it just took. You would go through this little journey with them, and
Yeah.
there would reach a point for me almost all the time. There would be a point at which I would finally start seeing what the picture was going to be.
Mhm.
At you know, but then he would make one little line or one little something that makes it do something totally dang different.
Yeah.
And now I'm glad. The reason that he was on TV and didn't do it live is because people like me would want to throw something at him for that. Because like, dude, how in the world you just do that? But in a loving way, you know.
Yeah,
And people
of
don't get
course.
that. People don't get that. When you hit people, they don't understand it's in a
We're
loving
living
way.
in different times.
It's a different time, you know. Because it's like, dude, I didn't see that coming. How in the hell? What, you know, like it'll make one line and it like, dude, one line, and instead of it being a big blue streak on the page, it'll be a river, waterfall.
With a waterfall and a unicorn flying over the top.
Yeah.
There was probably guys in the studio while they were filming that, like just like,
Oh, they were stoned like that.
yeah. Bob, you've done
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
God love you.
My
Man.
camera angle would have always been like that.
Yeah.
I'd have just been leaned like that. Eh?
Right about now, the after effects of what I gave you in your drink should be kicking
We'll put us a
in.
happy little tree right here, man. Yeah, man.
I don't remember saying man so much, but I like your version.
I
of
say
Bob
it.
Ross.
That's
Yeah.
mine. That's my Bob Ross, not his Bob Ross.
That's the
I
Bob
throw it,
Ross.
man.
I like to picture my Bob Ross, 8 ounces,
Yeah.
6 pounds, baby Ross.
Yeah.
You know what
Baby
I mean?
Ross, man.
Yeah. I like to picture my Bob Ross with John
Yeah.
Wings as the lead
Yeah.
singer for Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Good
Bob
night.
Ross in Espanol. That
Yeah.
I would love to hear. Well, lucky for everybody, I don't know Spanish.
¿Dónde es la biblioteca?
That sounded good. I don't know what the hell you just said, but that sounded good. It sounded,
¿Dónde es la baño?
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how it would sound. Something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. I was just working it through my head. I'm, not as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly what I was coming up with.
I could feel it percolating on this side, so I
Yeah.
figured, why not just go with it, right?
Yeah. You got to let that kind of stuff go because it could make you blow up.
El Diablo. What is
El
that?
Diablo has a yeah. Yeah. Hey,
It's like a
I
fighting chicken.
when I was locked down, dude, I was
Yeah.
with a couple people that spoke really good Spanish. Like that was their language, their first language.
Right.
And I tried. I tried with my one buddy Carlos. We used to play Scrabble together all the time, and because I love Scrabble and so does he. Well, we played Scrabble, and while we was playing Scrabble, I try to like learn a couple phrases, like learn a couple things. Man,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't click with me, dude. It was like
You
that,
know,
it
I
just,
think the only reason like it kind of like because I've never I've had a few buddies who speak it and but with the French I found like it's similar with it to French and I find it easier for me as an Anglo first, so, which was weird, right? Because like even learning French since like grade two, I still struggle with it, right? Like in certain because everything the way you would say it normally, like if we're talking like this,
yeah,
I'd have to think about it and then like certain things are backwards or whatever when you're talking as an English person, right? But yeah, no, I kind of started picking up a little bit of it here and there and yeah, it's but it's one of those things. It's like my son with French. It's like he can speak it, but to write it or read it,
yeah,
no, he don't like
huh.
he's
Well, I
weird.
mean, it's good that he can speak it though.
Yeah.
Just having a dual language you can't,
Well, it'll help. You never know
you
when
can't
it
go
can help
wrong.
you out even one time. You know what I mean? Like
Hey,
it's worth it.
hey, there ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I mean,
No,
like I say,
no.
there was a lady when I went to work for his company when I first come home from prison, and I knew I was only going to be there for temporary. I did I made it clear to them too.
Mm,
But there was this one lady that didn't have no idea about how to build anything or how to do metal stud work or anything like that. Her
mm,
whole job was to be more or less to translate for the superintendent, you know, to the other members that were Spanish speaking that didn't speak Spanish or didn't speak good English, good enough English for it was easier for her to translate it to them right real easy. And that was basically what she got. That was what her job was for. Not to say that she done other things as well, like drive. She drove
mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
truck
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But yeah, man, she got a little bit more money on the hour, I reckon, just because she could speak, you know, dual
Mm-hmm.
dual
Oh
languages.
yeah. Well, when I was in Florida last year, I was surprised. Like most of the people are at least bilingual. Some of them are
Yeah,
multilingual, right?
yeah.
And you'd always get presented with both, and I thought that was cool because like it was like a 45-minute drive from like the airport to where we were going, so I get to test out some of my not so great Spanish.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it
know?
wouldn't be a good idea for me to start even trying to think
But
I
it
was
was
speaking
but it was
Spanish.
cool. They were
Because
like anybody I met was really nice about it because they would help me out learn a little bit more because
God only knows what I would say if I thought I was speaking Spanish. You don't want me speaking Spanish. You don't want me translating.
no,
You don't want me translating because
no.
it doesn't make
Something
sense in
about a
my
chicken and Javex and
yeah like
$2
that
wings.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah yeah my whole translation would be like y'all do what you want.
Yeah. Might
Don't
want to be
listen to
careful with
me.
that. Yeah.
I can promise you don't want to do what I'm telling. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Who knows? Yeah.
Hey, though, like uh, it is important though, because I mean, like for kids these days, if it could be another little advantage as far as work,
Oh yeah.
getting a job and things like that. It could be that little bit, maybe everything else you all were equal on, and then you happen to be bilingual too.
Hmm.
That could be the little thing that
Well,
gives you that little.
it's helped me out more than like more times that I can remember because like moving around different parts, at least in Canada, there's areas that are totally French. So if you're going in there and you don't know, but
Yeah,
I
you might
guess
as well not go.
yeah, I've got jobs, I've got contracts, just because I can go both ways. And oftentimes the interesting thing is if you're around long enough, then they'll start picking up, just like we're talking about, right? They want to learn some English. So it's like,
Yeah,
all right, well, here's some stuff, and this means this, and this means that, and it's cool because you make a friend if nothing else. You know what I
that's
mean?
right.
So
That's right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. I like it, man. Well, I see you got us one pulled up here in the bottom.
I can
I'll,
play the outer, but Amanda's here. Maybe we should just play her song for her. You
okay.
know what I mean?
All right.
I
I
put
can
that
do
at the
that.
bottom.
I can do that too, man.
Yeah, why not?
I can
you know?
do that too. All right, guys. This is Guy and
Friendship.
Shine, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. We appreciate all you guys being here. This is Silly Girl. Appreciate you guys, man. Always good vibes.
Good vibes.
It's for you, sweetie. All right.
Where did you come from, silly girl? I know I just met you, but I can't seem to get you out of my head, out of my head. My favorite song was playing, and you were shaking your hips with little invitation. We were locking lips, and know that I'll never forget you, no matter how hard I try. I can't even find a pen so I can see you again. You gave me your poison, and I breathed you in. And just like my favorite things, you disappear in the end. The end. And as the band was winding down, I couldn't seem to find you in the crowd of faces. Then out of nowhere, you appear without one question. Yeah, we disappeared, and know that I'll never forget you, no matter how hard I try. Can't even find the words to tell you how much you blew my mind. Gave me your poison, and I breathed it in. But just like my favorite things, you disappear in the end. The end. The end. It's just the beginning. Well, you know I won't forget you, no matter how hard I try. I can't even find a pen so I could see you again. Gave me your poison, and I breathed you in. But just like my favorite things, you disappear. Yeah. The end.
The end. The end. True story.
Yeah. Good vibes, everybody. Welcome. This is Guy and Sean, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a beautiful Monday. I hope everybody's doing good. Outstanding. Job, Brother Sean. That was Silly Girl. You can find that at Sean Dig. You can find it anywhere you find music.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You can, if you have your link available, man, always feel free to drop it, man.
Who, me?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Always feel free to drop it if you
Yeah.
have your link to the DistroKid stuff and all that, man.
yeah.
Because-
I'll set that up, man. I
Yeah.
don't even know how to really do that.
Oh,
I think
go
I
to-
just have open a window, click it, and copy it, kind of thing.
Yeah, go to you know where it says promote and manage
Mm.
underneath your song that you add
Oh,
up.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All
You
right.
go to the promote side, or the hyperlink side, hyperfollow link.
Okay.
It'll bring you go to that, and then you just press and hold it, and it'll bring it up,
Oh.
to copy it. You copy it, and then bring it right over here and paste it into the comment section.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to email it or text it or whatever whatever
yeah.
whatever it is you want to do. But that's how. And then with the manage, then you can go there and like change details about it, all that kind of stuff. But like, go to the hyper follow link. It's on the left. It's the one on the left. If you're looking at it on the phone, it's on the left right here.
Okay.
And you go to that, and then man, it brings you right up. Brings you right up to what you're
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying now. I got what you're saying.
and
now.
like man, I'm gonna drop out of here just so I can show you just how simple. Like, you'll see what I'm saying. Like, okay, like here's my new song. Should be available here in the next little bit, but then it brings it up. Released June 22nd, and then let's see. Underneath of it, you see right there underneath the picture,
Mm-hmm.
there's two blocks.
Yep.
One says promote, one says manage. Go to promote,
Ah,
hit that, and then you see the one with that pink color
Yep.
says hyper follow, and then the other one's promo cards. Okay?
Okay.
So you go to the one that says hyper follow, then you press and hold it, you can get a link. You go to the promo cards and you can get stuff like this, bro. It's actually really cool, and it comes with your stuff. Like I did this one this time. I didn't. This is the one that I did, but right there,
Nice.
and it gives you your album cover with
Cover and everything, I
release
like
date
that.
and all that.
Yeah.
You have the option, you can just download it and
So
you can
just
share it.
that's straight through DistroKid.
That's
right?
straight through DistroKid.
Nice.
Yeah, and then when they hit that,
Yep.
then like if you share the hyperfollow link, when they hit it, it'll bring them right up to.
Okay.
And then I got it set up for Spotify so they can pre-orders
Cool.
and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man. But I haven't done nothing special, bro,
Yeah.
other than just setting just get.
Just messing.
They
with
give
it.
it to me. They give it to you.
Cool.
So you might as well.
Speaking of the music, it is the last Saturday of the month coming up, so We Be Jammin's happening this Saturday at 9 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Would love to see us all there. If you want to play, I'm sure there's probably a way to do that still. But
Yeah.
something you should consider if you play and you want to do that kind of thing.
Yep. It's definitely worthy
Big
of
Jack
doing.
story
You can.
time.
Yep. Big Jack story time. You can find his email address and everything, and communicate back and forth and see see what's available. But absolutely, man, good job. I'm glad you didn't let that slip because
Yeah.
it is coming up on last Saturday. Um,
Yeah.
so that's
That's
cool.
that's something I seen Patty saying too about having family and how the trades do seem to be scary short these days.
Yeah.
I know my brother still works full time and he's doing his own contracted thing now, but like he can't, like he said, he just can't even keep up with the demand right now because there's even something simple. Like he said, like it's not like it was 10 years ago where you had a full crew of guys. Like you
Well,
might
see,
have
there's
one or
some
two.
things can't be fixed with an app.
Yeah, that's the thing,
You gotta
right?
have these. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and
Know
you
know
gotta be
which side
willing
of the
to.
hammer to use.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything can be fixed with an app. So I hope people that make the big bucks behind the computer understand that now the big bucks are going to be made for those that don't sit behind the computer either,
Yeah.
because they're running low. The old guys are retiring and getting out, and there haven't
Yeah.
been many young people coming behind them. But shout out to Mike Rowe. Oh man, I just appreciate what you're doing. I see you, and I think you're doing a great thing by bringing such awareness to the trades. I know you've been doing it for about 17 years, and I've been a super supporter since day one.
Excellent.
So shout out to Mike Rowe. He does yeah, everybody. I think well, at least here, everybody knows who Mike Rowe is. Done dirty jobs, but he also has a foundation called Micro Works, I think is the exact thing. But man, it's all about pushing the trades up and offering young folks and everything a way to extend their future in the
Hmm.
trades and show them that there's money, six figures to be made, no problem these days.
Oh yeah.
And and they really do a good job pushing that kind of stuff up, and they're
That's
they're
good.
partnered up now. I think this past year they partnered up with This Old House, and I've always been a super supporter of This Old House too. So but they're doing a good thing by spotlighting the trades,
Hmm.
because it's not just a bunch of dirty dumb construction
No, it's
workers.
it's
You
really
have to
not.
have a
Yeah.
skill,
Yeah.
and and I think that that's a great thing that they're shining a light. You're not just a dumb carpenter or a dumb plumber or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
dumb welder, or no, man, I'm a high dollar man that needs
Hmm.
that's in need, is what I am. That's the way that they're trying to show that, man, it's worthy.
Well,
So
it's
you know
true. It's true. There's a lot you got to learn, and for too long, like a third or fourth generation tradesman myself, and I know like how hard they were working before and how hard I was working at the beginning towards the end. That's when I started kind of like seeing the shift, like over the last 4 or 5 years, just of shortages and not being
mm,
able to keep up, like having to
mm,
turn work down, which was like not common for the first 20 years I did this job. Finding
yeah,
work was hard, right? So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
now, I mean, it's one of those things now that the older folks are retiring, or getting out of the trades and everything, the hands-on part, then
Hmm.
there just isn't that many younger folks. And now when I say younger, I'm talking myself, yourself,
Hmm.
our age and younger, and some, and older. But there just isn't many. There isn't as many as what we're losing. I remember Mike Rose said something about it on the one thing I was watching. He was talking about, but for e- well, for every for every two people, what was it? It was something for every however many people retiring. There was only so many people coming in. It was a
It
it,
was a big
it
gap.
yeah, like
Yeah.
okay, well, it ain't gonna take long. That's not gonna be good if something don't happen, because people love having their homes built and their
Well, and
toilets
there's a lot
put
that
in.
goes
And
into getting your trade too. It's not like you show up and after 2 weeks you know everything
oh,
to do.
you
Like
you
it
gotta
takes
apply
years.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it takes years to figure
And
all that
most
stuff.
companies, they don't give a flying crap about what you got on paper. They're
Mm-mm.
going to hire you on and see what you're all about. And then the real secret to it is just showing up.
Yep.
I can tell you,
Yep.
my dad is the kind of dude that I can look at, and I can tell you for 1,000% sure
Hmm.
that the secret to building yourself up in a trade like that is being the man that's there. You
Yep.
show up every day. and be ready to do a
And
little
when-
something.
and if you're starting out, don't stand around. Push a broom, do something, like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
do something, man. Do yourself a favor.
I
Keep
think that
moving.
one superintendent, the first day I was on the job, my dad was a carpenter on the job and a well-respected man on the job, and I was just a young kid,
Yeah.
you know, pretty as I could be, but you know, just a young kid. And you can imagine how that went on the construction job anyway. But anyway, you know, anyway,
Yeah.
the superintendent was like, I think what he said to me was, anything that don't grow here, pick it up. And when I looked around, there wasn't nothing that looked to me like it grew there. It was like, I guess I'm gonna be here for a while then, ain't I? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, that was your job, and it didn't matter whose son you were, whose whatever. It's like,
Everybody learns the ropes.
this
the
is
same,
this
man.
is how this is this is what
This is
you
what
do.
divides the
Like,
men from the boys.
yeah, and then after you show them that
Yeah.
you know, okay, I'll do what you asked me to do, and whatever, then you slowly make your little way up the rung a little bit. But like,
And then some new broom sweeper comes along that you get to tell what to do. It's a great evolution.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
It
Yeah.
it was definitely you know, it was one of them deals that everybody that was there doing it in a different level had done that level.
Right.
Everybody, the guy that had
Yeah.
been doing my job before I hired in had just got his kind of promotion and was on the scaffold with my dad and was considered a carpenter. Like, he had
Yep.
been a laborer, a carpenter's helper, and the 1-ton driver, and then worked his way up and
That's it.
learned and learned
Yeah,
to
think
do
about
stuff.
all the
and then-
skills that you learn, like, just through that process alone, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people that can even drive a standard vehicle anymore, which
Yeah.
is, you know,
Yeah.
something. But
They put me in that 1-ton, dude. I wasn't but 16 years old, man. And that thing, that wasn't a good idea. You know, I mean, I did good. But you know,
was this your 4-hour drive excursion?
hey, yeah. I took it all the way around 695 one time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
I wasn't supposed to, but I was trying. You know.
Yeah, well,
But
got-
I mean,
got a good
dude, they
life,
sent
man.
me places I'd never been before. I'd never been into, like, you know, DC or like you know, really the places they were sending me to in Baltimore. I was like, I don't even know nothing about this place. Like, you know, we lived on the
Like
outskirts,
that
so
philosophy of, like, how sure do we think it is that he's got this?
hey, he
He'll
would give me
figure
this.
it out.
This is the funny thing, dude, is it would be this little old piece of paper, maybe about this size of what these strings come in, with these directions wrote down on it.
Yeah.
And that would be how I'd roll
Good
out.
luck.
And
Yeah, good luck.
like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Hey, I got where I was supposed to go somehow. You know, that was before all the GPS stuff, and I really, I don't know. At that age, I
Yeah.
guess I was just ignorant enough and didn't care that it didn't bother me a bit. It was like, if I wind up where I'm not supposed to be, I'm getting paid the whole time I'm not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
at this point, I would probably be at this point the kind of person that I am. I'd be so nerve wracked at first that it would drive me nuts. You know, like having to run that old clanky 1-ton truck, and
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know what buttons did what, so I was afraid to touch certain things. I didn't know if the bed start lift. I didn't know what I was doing at first, but I didn't care. But
Nah.
nowadays, I'd be so nerve wracked at first, like, oh God, I hope the wheels don't fall off this stupid thing. You know, I hope, you
Yeah,
know,
them are the things you learn later on through experience, right? It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
I told you about the backfire experience with that woman right beside me
Oh,
in her
yeah.
car.
yeah, those are great.
Dude.
times.
Dude, that was the
Okay.
worst thing they could have taught this fellow, you know.
It sounded like 100 gunshots going off.
Oh, dude, it's that boom shine.
Yeah.
It was so loud, bro. And inside that tunnel,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
it was it surprised me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It surprised me. I was like, oh my Lord. I'm just glad that I didn't cause nobody to like, swerve or
Hit the
nothing. And like,
wall. Yeah.
oh, dude, because
Yeah, dude.
it was loud, man. It was,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize when he said it backfired real good, just how good.
Mm,
It was good.
It
It
was
was a
good.
good one.
it
It was a good one. And then I learned how to do it on command, so I could time it just right and everything. I got good at it, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Very
Had a few fires under the hood, but it ain't no big deal. They had a
That's
mechanic.
just a regular Monday morning.
They had a mechanic. It was like a pit crew. I'd watched racing before,
Yeah, there you go.
so I knew how it worked. When you had something go wrong, you pulled in there at the garage. Hey,
Come on,
pit
I
crew.
gotta get to the next place. Let's go,
Little
boys.
fire under the hood. I don't know what happened. I think it's because I pumped the gas 15 times as I had the key turned off and going 70 mile an hour so I could put it back on and backfire real good. I didn't know that meant that there was a lot of gas up there in that carburetor like that. I didn't know.
Oh man, you
Few-
look like Koopa
few hood
from
fires,
Mario
it wasn't
Kart
no
going
big
down
deal.
the road.
Yeah.
Flames shooting out the back.
Yeah. It was kind of awesome in a way.
Yeah.
Oh,
These are the things that
I,
got us
I
here.
felt like I was in the movies. It was pyrotechnics.
Yeah, there you go.
I
There
did
you go.
good.
Yeah.
I did good. Hey man, I always did
Yeah,
like
you're-
Sublime, by the way. I always
Yeah.
did like Sublime.
I mean, me too. They actually just are getting fired back up. Well, they've been fired back up, but his son, Bradley's son, the fella who was the original singer who passed away, I think his son's name's Jason. He sounds exactly like him. He even looks like him, and now he's fronting the band and they're touring together. I actually heard two bands cover like some of their older songs, like that you wouldn't really like most people wouldn't know on the radio the other day. So I said that's cool to see. Some of the stuff you're starting to see kick up again, you know what I mean? Which is cool. So
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, got everybody in the house with us this morning, Brother Sean. We got Miss Patty in the house. She said, love the old cars. I remember wondering why my car kept going after I shut it off. Yeah, you'd be in the house and it'd still be backfired. Well, I guess that means Sean was sick of hearing me. Huh. Well, he dropped me like a bad habit, didn't he? Well, that's fine then. Now, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. I'm gonna share a little song that I just put out. This song is called "Head Over Heels." It's a little song I wrote for my family several years ago. Just something. Let's see, right here it is. Yeah, this is a song called "Head Over Heels." I appreciate you guys being here with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Always good vibes with Guy and Shine. Good vibes, my friend. Happy Monday. I've been around, I've seen some things, I've moved so fast, you'd better not blink. I've lived and loved, I've loved and lost. When I met you, I sure did fall head over heels in love with you. It's all the little things that you do. You pick me up and you stand me tall. When I met you, I sure did fall head over heels in love with you. I rush right home when my work day's done, so I can see you and my son. You pick me up and you stand me tall. When I met you, I sure didn't fall head over heels in love. It's all the little things that you do. You pick me up and you stand me tall. When I met you, I sure didn't fall head over heels in love with you. Head over heels in love with you.
Oh man, here we go again. We're going to create change. Make it happen this time. Let's go, always good vibes. Get out of the open. I can feel it, it's going.
Yeah. What's up?
Good
man?
work,
Yeah,
man.
we made it back.
Sounded
Thanks,
really good.
man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That was my second little endeavor into the recording world. So I'm learning, trying, hey, you gotta
man,
start
sounds
somewhere,
good.
guys. Gotta
Sounds
start
good.
somewhere. And I come down on myself a couple weeks ago. I was trying to get that first little song wrote, and I knew that it wasn't the best in the world as far as sound wise, but I found myself getting upset, and I was like, you know what? You're doing exactly what you've been preaching to not do for the past 6 months. You have been telling people to just talk and do it like you're doing it at Walmart or just you make mistakes. That's just the way it is. It ain't perfect is perfect. So man, I found the version after 4 or 5 of them that and it's like, okay, this is the one that I feel the best about on this attempt. I can always redo it. I can
Yep.
always put more, something else to it, but I am not going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to put this thing out, even though
Yeah.
I feel like I could do better. Well, you know what? 3 or 4 songs from now, maybe I'll have the skill set under my belt. I'll back up to the first one.
Well, you can
and I'll-
already hear the
It
the
did-
difference between 1 and 2. You know what I mean? So that's
Thanks,
progress
man.
in my mind. No, I really enjoyed that because that's the one you sent to me there.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
man,
You
this
pretty
sounds
much
good.
have I sent you. I mean,
Yeah.
other than the
Well,
load up,
keep
you
at
know
it,
what I
man.
mean. Other than the fact it ain't pulled right off of that. That's what I loaded up to.
Yeah,
to
man.
the
No, I
thing.
really liked it. Like I said, if I can, I like all styles of music, right? But if I feel it here, like then I'm like, oof, you got me,
Thanks.
man. And
That's awesome.
that one hits home. So
That's
yeah.
awesome, man. Well, Miss Patty come by this morning and left me comments. That one definitely made me cry. And I'm like, well, am I winning or like, like
You know the best
but I know
part?
what you mean. And the
The
most
best part
I
on DistroKid
you
is like
stir emotion, man. That's as a songwriter, there's no better reward you
Yeah.
can give me than to say it takes you back to somewhere or
Mm-hmm.
that it makes you feel an emotion that's a good emotion, like
Anything.
because that's one of those good emotional things.
Yeah.
Like, well, and it is for me. It really does all just boil down to those little tiny things. Everybody does the big things because you got to do them. It's those little teeny tiny things that maybe didn't have to be that stick out to me these days because you realize that's what really makes us the people that we are. Is we all do the big things. We all have to do the big things in life in order to get by and maintain. But it's that little stuff that your people do or the people that's close to you or whatever. It's those little tiny things that maybe they would have been the only one to think of it, or maybe
Yeah.
they've been the only one to do it that way, or to even acknowledge that, or whatever it is. It's just that was my acknowledgement to them.
Yeah. Cool.
That's all that my songs in all reality it's just my way of talking about stuff that's in my life, and you know, most of the time, sometimes it's bull crap a little bit.
When I was
But
looking up, like, you can look up DistroKid, like where, like what categories they're putting you in. You put yourself in certain categories when you
yeah,
list your song, right? So after about a month of doing it, I like clicked on it, and it's like Shine Big with sad songs. I was like, what? They're not all sad, are they? Are they
maybe
all sad?
maybe next month it'll be Guy Bandy with all your modern rap songs.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep. Cutting edge hip hop by Guy
Cutting edge
Bandy.
hip hop. Yeah, like I don't know. That don't sound too hip
Sound
hopish.
like sound. Yeah. Who can I speak to about this?
Yeah, yeah. Don't know who's classifying. Or can they hear? Can they? Or are they
Yeah.
going by sign language?
They're- Just take
Because
one look at you.
that could translate different. Maybe I could see where you get confused if
Maybe,
you're not able to hear
maybe.
it. You know. Hey, Miss Patty, thank you very much for the compliment, though. Must feel so proud of the voice of an angel. I don't know about all that. Reminds me a little of the purity of Vince Gill. Well, I can tell you, Vince Gill is an awesome artist, and man, not only a singer, but that just he's an awesome musician, just all the way around. So, I thank you for even mentioning his name and mine in the same sentence. Thank you
That's
very much for
beautiful.
that. I like that one right there. They're the best. Love the
Yeah.
old cars. I remember wondering why my car kept going after I shut it off. I know. All and they would. It's so funny, man.
Check your ignition switch.
Yeah, Maps Code days. Desi says Maps Code Day. He knows what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
ain't kidding, man. Geosite cities. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's so cool, man. Well, you got another one up here pulled up underneath. You
Yeah.
wanna
Echoes of Goodbye. It's the most recent one I did. So yeah, it's just a song about how things change and life goes on, and sometimes you're the last one standing. So that's what this one's about. Yep. Appreciate you
Absolutely.
guys. Good vibes.
Years always drove me down on the inside, the other side of out. I can feel like I've sold myself out. While I whisper to the wind, I don't feel like I'm being heard, or I should stick around. So I let the darkness more than creep in. Let it tell me this life ain't worth living. So I go out for a long, slow walk. I ain't coming back, and I ain't want to talk. Yeah. Miss my friends, decisions that only take a second after a lifetime of pain. Judge me as you will, don't give a damn. You're the one that said I wasn't right when I am. Hear me out, I'm tired, more tired than you know. This ain't part of your fucked up show. So I say the words I really need to say, but I muffle myself, 'cause I'm afraid of what they'll think. Hear me out. Hear me out. So I lie to myself like I've done a million times. Yeah, I know what you mean. You probably think I'm blind. So I let it all fade to black and white while I strip myself down to the bones every night, thinking I'm better off. Well, I'd be better off in that brimstone pit where I can never evolve, thinking I am always better off in that.
Oh man, here we go again. We're going to create change. Make it happen this time. Let's go, always good vibes. Get out of the open. I can feel it, it's
Yeah, man. Good
Yeah,
job,
man.
brother Sean. Good
Thank
job.
you, dude.
Man.
Thank you, Patty. That's very nice of you to say that. I prefer that as well.
It's very sad, man.
Yeah, it's a very sad song.
Very-
Oh, I feel like crying.
Good brother Sean was sad.
What's
What's the name of the song? They're all sad.
Yeah. I guess Echoes of Goodbye doesn't help my case for a time.
Is it hip hop? No, it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Is there a category in the music?
Sad.
Short for sad?
Is it? That is kind of sad, ain't it?
Is it?
It don't really pick your spirits up much when you say it like that, does it?
That's just sad.
Where'd y'all find my music under? Sad.
Sad.
It was with the sad ones.
Yeah. What? Who else was in there? Mainly you.
Cardi B was there too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
All right.
sad.
Mm.
It's-
You and Dwight Yoakam were in the sad bin together.
yeah, we're in the sad bin.
Yeah, fine. Look for us under S. Hey, that works
Cool.
out. Shine.
Yeah, it could
S,
kind of make you lean towards quitting.
or just getting sadder.
Let's get sadder. Then I'll write him a good one.
Yeah, his last song was 3.5 minutes of him strumming and crying. So,
Next on.
wish him the best of luck.
This
Yeah.
one's a little faster tempo. Sad. Yeah, yeah. No breaks in between that whimper.
No. Put in a whole box set of just
Yeah.
random sad sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah, Lord. Mama, I appreciate it. Patty, I'm so thankful for all of you that have supported and encouraged him to hang in there. Love
Yeah.
Mama B. Well, I say same sentiments exactly. It is encouraging to have people to share it with, even if just a few. That's all I care about. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean,
I thought she was talking about my sadness to
well,
encourage me
you
to
that
hang in
too.
there.
She's sad for you too. She
I don't
knows.
want to make anybody sad.
Yeah.
It's Monday.
When she wants to rinse her eyes out, she just goes over and just tunes in. Right now, she just finds it anywhere in any store. It's
Yeah.
under sad.
just put the S in and
Yeah,
my
just put the
face
S in. It comes up
right
to
away.
sad shine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we might have to look at some rebranding.
That's funny, man. That is,
Oh, God.
I'll give mine a month, and then I'll go see what it classifies me as. I just hope it ain't bless its heart.
Oh, bless its
I'll
heart.
be in the bless its heart
Oh, no.
category. We all know what that means.
Just,
They're not really saying bless your heart.
no, they're not. They're not.
No.
saying-
No, that's basically making fun of you to your face.
Yeah.
That's what that means when they do that.
as
I
long as
know,
they
I
say-
felt it.
Yeah, well,
I've received a many a bless your heart. Bless its heart.
I never thought about that till you started talking about it. And I remember being at my grandparents all the time, and someone would leave, and they'd be like, "Oh, bless." his
Oh,
heart."
bless its heart. That was their way of saying, good Lord,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that person? You know what I mean?
Yeah, give him
Like,
some biscuits and send him on his
Some
way.
biscuits and get them out of here, man.
Yeah.
Tell them we'll fix a fresh pot of soup. They can have that one.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, hey, bless its heart.
Bless his heart.
Bless its heart.
Lord
I was a
knows.
blessed heart child. I ain't gonna lie. I was a blessed heart child, and I say that with the most pride
Well,
that
sometimes in
anybody
this
could
world,
have being a blessed heart
well,
child.
yeah, yeah, them are my favorite people, honestly. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? If
yeah,
I'm serious about it,
yeah,
like, they actually are.
yeah,
Most of them are my best friends. So,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
why
yeah.
not?
Blessed heart.
Learned a lot more from them fellows than most people.
Yeah,
Bless their heart.
blessed heart. Don't watch your step. Don't follow that. Don't do that one.
No word of a lie. Okay.
Yeah.
We had this fella, and I won't name his name, but like
Well, go
back
ahead. We don't care.
Bobby Frazier.
Okay, thank
Anyway,
you. That's cool.
back in the day, you remember like the push mowers, right? Like just the mechanical
The
regular
one
mow.
with the little
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
So my great grandfather used one of them his whole life, and when he got around,
Mine had bubbles that come out the top. Didn't cut the grass worth a damn, but it.
but I spent hours trying. so
I thought it was a style.
they finally get like a motorized mower, right? Like one of the, still a push one, but it's a motorized one.
Yeah.
So there's this fellow who lived on the same road as us, and you know, he was a step dancer, and like oh man, you get this guy going, like he was just on another level, but he was also on another level, right?
Right.
So
Plus,
he
it's hard.
decides to flip the lawnmower over one day while it's running to check to see how sharp the blades actually are.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's,
two fingers gone.
he's
And
like,
and then my grandmother Marie's like, "What is Bobby doing out there?" And he goes, "Come back with my finger, cat. Come back with my fingers." And
he's
the
like,
cat's running off with his
this
fingers.
is Bobby now.
Yeah.
Not funny, but you know,
It's kind of funny.
it
Like,
is. You know,
and then when he was asked,
he's like, that
why,
mower's
Bobby, why did you
that
do
mower's
that?
sharp.
What? That's exactly what he said. Bobby, why did you do that? I wanted to see how sharp the blades were. That was the quote.
He's like, well, I tell you,
there's other things you could have tried, Bobby.
makes gloves a mite awkward. That's just crazy, man. But
Yeah.
it's the lapses of thought for
Well,
1 second in that situation,
Well,
man.
we
You're
were in a
done.
real rural place, you know what I mean? And like no one had ever seen something like this before. And like
Mm-mm-mm.
he grew up it was called 7 Mile Road, and it's literally exactly as the name says. And there's about 4 houses on it, right? And what I couldn't figure out was somehow he had managed to work in the woods for about 30 years running a chainsaw. And this same thought had never occurred to him. So,
You'd have thought he'd have gained just a touch of knowledge about spinning blades at that point.
you would think. You would think.
I'm not,
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not saying I would have expected him to know not to try to cut down the tree with the mower, but the hand, been like, yeah, I just don't think that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? I just,
No. But
not good. Not good. But dude, it happens so easy, and it's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
man. It's a lapse of thought for 1 second, man. That's all it takes. Gone,
well,
bro.
That and I mean,
Gone.
another big thing when I grew up was being on the farms. Was like there were so many of us, right? Like there was my grandparents, but like all the cousins would show up at the farm to do whatever needed to be done, and everybody pretty well lived in the same proximity. And you know, just stuff that we would do when we were kids, like whether it was like on the baler, like when it wasn't hooked up, climbing it and stuff like that, or like hiding behind tractor tires, and you know what I mean? Like a lot of accidents happen like that
yeah,
because
dude.
people didn't know the danger in it. Like we never seen it running. We didn't know how it worked. It was a ladder to us, and then
Yeah.
it's sitting there for a minute in the field. You think you can climb up it quick, and it gets started, and
It doesn't take but just one lapse of judgment, man.
Yeah.
One lapse of judgment, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, my
But-
father-in-law, when I first got with my wife, I don't even think we weren't even married yet. Well, I think we had just got married. But her daddy, he worked out at this factory. I eventually worked out there too, but it was a place that runs steel for the coal mines.
Mhm.
And had machines, that would pull the rebar and pull the steel and stuff through it and everything. So you can imagine the kind of equipment I'm talking about. Some big,
Yeah.
big stuff. Like it was loud and obnoxious and just horrible on your ears and just heavy.
Ugh.
Everything was heavy.
Yep.
Everything was heavy.
Yep.
Everything was oily. Everything was just it sucked.
Dangerous as
Really
it possibly could
dangerous.
be.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
And man, he somehow got his uniform or something caught in this one. And man, this happened before I'd ever seen the machine, so I didn't realize until I worked down there exactly what had took place. But dude, it drug him through this machine, and it's got these chains on both sides, right? That's
Mhm.
like a pulley system, right?
Yep.
Somehow or another, he got stuck in that, and it pulled him through there. And he was small enough. He's a small guy. Like he's probably 100 and maybe 130 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it pulled him through there at the perfect angle. Now it ripped him up a little bit and cut his shoulder and bruised him up real bad. But somehow or another, he made it through all the way through to the other side. But I
Wow.
swear to you, when you look at it, the space that man actually went through, I I still
Mm.
I have a hard time, like in my mind, even though I know how the machine works. I don't know how that man made it through there without dying. There had to be just
Miracle.
enough.
He was at the exact right spot at the
Yeah,
wrong time, so to speak. But you know what I
dude.
mean? Like, oh man.
Because this thing was strong. Like it was strong. Like it
Oh yeah.
it
Rip
dragged
you.
steel through it, man.
Yeah,
It-
like it ain't gonna do nothing to humans.
Eh,
You know what I mean? Like, wow,
dude,
talk about a
I
lucky
don't
man.
know. And he didn't even like I mean. Like he didn't like nothing like no real broke anything. Everything was just bruised up and cut up and everything like that. But somehow or another, now my size man, I don't think I'd have went through it. I
No,
don't think my foot like he went through all the way through.
that's
Well, I don't think
wild.
that my foot, where my foot is bigger than what his foot is, I don't think my metal tarsal boot would have give and went through there. It'd rip my foot off. It'd rip my foot off, or
Mhm.
it would, like I don't think that my shoulders would have collapsed enough to go through the little spot
A lot of people don't
that.
realize how dangerous some of these jobs still
Oh,
are to
dude,
this day. Like, I mean, I remember even working in one of the worst places I ever worked was in a bakery, right? And they made what was industrial bakery, so they made like Eggo waffles and like you know what I
yeah,
mean, switch the boxes to great value, whatever. So they made all these, big waffles was their thing and strudels, but it would be so hot in like one side of that room that if the heat didn't get you, there was no guards, no nothing. People with long hair all the time getting caught like in the ovens because it was on a trolley system. So it would just this one woman got, I hate using
uh,
the term, but like her whole head
scalp,
scalped. Yeah,
yeah, ah,
scalped. One fella, man, he was like there was this big spinner thing like for mixing up the dough.
yeah,
And we had this metal thing, like once in a while you have to give her a whack if the dough got too thick, but you
yeah.
use the metal thing, like this big metal shovel, right? What did he do? Sits his arm in.
Nah, dude,
You know what I mean? Like, I won't even go
nah,
on.
dude.
But
Like,
like
see,
that
that's the
place
kind
was
of crap.
one of the most dangerous spots I ever worked. And like nobody, like honestly, I was there for about 5, 6 years, coming up through high school, and then like a year about after high school, I left there. But the amount of it got so bad that nobody locally would work there. They had to
Yeah,
bring people in from other places, man. Yeah, it was crazy.
man.
They're shut down now,
Man, job
thankfully.
site accidents are just it's insane the stuff that takes place,
And
man,
it
and
happened so fast.
so
Like that's the
fast.
thing. It's just like,
Boom,
and you're like,
done, man.
whoa.
It's a done deal. It's a
Yeah.
done deal by the time you have time to think about it. That's why like using saws and those types of things, man. I mean, you're better off to go overboard
Mm-hmm.
protecting your finger. You only get this.
Mm-hmm.
This is all you get. 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna get to put it back. So
Yeah.
it's like, for me these days, bro. I love to play my guitar. So I try not to injure my fingers or put my hands or anything in an area
Oh
where like a
no.
mash zone or somewhere
Mm-mm.
underneath something that I know could fall or something like. Nah, Nah, I don't even take
No.
that chance, man.
No,
I don't
no,
even
'cause
take.
once it's gone, they're gone, man.
They're
Like,
gone. Now
oh,
I still wind up ringing my finger once in a while with a hammer, but that baby grows back. That
oh
nail
yeah,
grows back.
that's all
But
part of the
man,
business. But that's like, you gotta be careful. And one thing I do like seeing in the trades now is that it's not as bad as like when we first started, where it's like, what are you wearing them gloves for, sissy boy?
oh yeah, or
It's
safety
like,
glasses, or
just
safety
or
glasses.
safety glasses,
I
man.
remember getting a hard way to go over that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
oh
Like
yeah.
you could have done cut that board while you was putting them safety glasses on.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have half this house framed up by now. What's
Yeah,
up? Yeah, it's
yeah.
like, no, put your glasses on, put your goggles on, put your gloves on, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know what I
want
mean?
somebody to make fun of me like that, because then I'll just pick something up out of my nail bag and throw it at their face and be like, "See, if you'd had your safety glasses on, it wouldn't hurt your eye."
Oh yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But to get you a handful of roofing tacks and sling them at them real good, be like, "Now, see, that's why you want your safety glasses on. You never know when somebody like me gonna throw something like that at you.
Anything can happen. I
Anything could
mean,
happen. Anything could happen."
yeah.
Well, and on in my kind of work,
Mhm.
the main thing was like, don't get in a hurry. Don't get in a
No,
hurry, because that's when
no.
you get hurt.
One
That's
of the
when
best
something
bosses
stupid
I've had
happens.
ever
Like
told me the same thing over and
just
over
mellow
again.
out.
If you're behind or you're late, you're already behind and you're already late.
You're going,
Speeding up is just going to get you hurt, and then you're not going to be working for what, a year, a month? Who
man.
depends?
Yeah,
Depends, right?
it's not worth it, man.
No,
Just take your
keep
time.
pace. Yeah.
Take your time. I tell you, one of the closest things that I ever had happen to me, I was walking across it was actually a 2x6 wall that was
Hmm.
French, which is easy to walk on. That's nothing like a 2x4 wall.
Right.
But I'm walking across this, and I got my toe of my boot on a piece of a nail that hadn't been set all the way down, a 12
Oh,
penny.
yeah.
Hey, you talk about. Hey, now that just about sent me off that wall, and I was over here in Burke's Garden. We
Holy
was doing
smokes.
it was a man that had, well, it's his family was from around here, but he had moved here from Lynchburg, him and his wife. Anyway, we had framed this tall wall in the back the way that it was. It was about 30 foot. You had concrete on one side and just old hard pack on the other side. And hey, I took off through there. I never seen that nail. I mean, I'd been across that wall probably 4 or 5 different times already, and not one issue. But man, I took off out through there, and I guess I dragged my toe just enough that it got just barely caught on it, bro. And hey, I mean, I had to hurt myself to keep from killing myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yep.
had to
Yep.
drop down
Yeah.
and take
Drop.
one of the ribs
Mm-hmm.
and catch the wall and everything. And
Oh,
I had never ever lost my footing nowhere like that
no.
before. And if I'd have been carrying anything substantial other than my tool belt,
Mm-hmm.
in a situation like that, it happens. So I don't know if I could have let it go in time to grab. I don't know, because everybody says, "Oh, just let it go," but man, it's just like
But everybody's reactions are different, man.
it.
I'm gonna tell you,
it,
when I seen
it
the Carpenters for the first time walking on like what you're talking about, 2x6 beams, 4 or 5 stories in the air, carrying 3/4 inch ply, and that wind
sure,
would hit, right? The wind would hit them,
can't
and
let go.
can't
Can't
let
let
it
go.
go, man. Like, let that thing go.
You can't. Your
Yes.
brain just won't register in time.
Hold
And
on
if
for dear
it,
life. It's a parasail.
yeah, and once you're falling off the edge, hold on, hold on,
Yes,
maybe you'll
hold
fly,
on.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh
but
man. Yeah.
and that's another just so hey, bills don't stop coming when
No,
that's
they
a
don't.
fact, AB.
Yeah, they
And
don't.
you know the thing is like in the trades work, a lot of times the injury is devastating. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just the injury.
No,
It's
no.
it's like
It's for life now.
may not go back no
Yeah.
more. You
Yeah.
may be done for the
Yeah.
rest. And I mean, and I say that not like, oh, it's that scary. No, it's you have to be that
You,
thoughtful while you're
you,
at work. Like
and
every accident
even
could kill
when
you.
you think that you've got everything on lock and you're doing it the right way, there's still the chance something will happen.
Simple stuff like this.
Yeah.
If you're working on a job site around here
Yeah.
locally, say you got a $4 or $5 scaffold set up there.
Yeah.
And you got men running around and you're tying stuff to the ropes so people can pull it up and you're working the ground.
Mhm.
Hey man, just somebody dropping their hand plane out of
Oh,
their
dude.
or dropping their cat's paw
Yeah.
from 4 or 5 scaffold bucks
Spud
up.
wrench, you're done.
Dude,
You're done
their
with the
hammer,
hits you
anything
hit.
like that hits you in the hit. So it's like, don't play games with the accidents because it sounds all funny. Like, oh, I just got it. No, man, if that
No,
thing
they're
falls
not.
from 4 or 5 bucks up, it's
Uh-huh.
liable to go in you. It's not just going to bounce off.
Well,
It's going
I'll
to go
tell you
through you.
something. I'll tell you something. Like, and I was well into my career doing electrical at the time, and they with the Big Oil would have these safety rodeos, is what they called them, right? And I remember sitting there, and they had a watermelon, and they had a hard hat on top of the watermelon. Of course, they put glasses and eyes on it, and all that kind of thing, right? And you know a spud wrench, right? Like
Yeah.
the big old spud wrench. So they were like, how hard? And these were 8-point harness helmets, like the good helmets, metal fab or whatever. They made the metacarbon fiber, whatever it was at the time. I was thinking, man, this thing must be able to take a punch from like at least 50, 60 feet, right?
Mhm.
12 feet, this thing punctured through the helmet and straight through the water.
No
I
doubt.
was like,
See
whoa.
what I'm saying? Man.
Whoa.
And that's
Yeah.
one of them things that, like, out here on these little jobs, you think about that kind of stuff maybe on a skyscraper, but even on a house,
Mhm.
like, man, you've got to think about those little tiny things that you don't. It's the little tiny things you don't give no credence to that will mar you up in a quick, just like climbing a scaffold.
Yep.
Hey, man, get on the inside because if you do fall, at least you're falling to a plane. You're
Yeah.
not falling,
But
you know,
straight to the
50 feet.
ground. Yeah.
You know, 3
Mhm.
points of contact. I know all these things sound
Mhm.
really mundane, but it's so
They'll
it's
keep you
so true,
alive.
so important, man.
Yeah.
It's just so important.
And
And
until
and
you
if you're scared,
yeah.
don't be the tough guy.
Don't be
Just
too
say,
proud to say
hey,
that don't work for you.
hey, let me
Yeah.
tell you something, bro. That's when you are gonna get hurt. My
Mhm.
dad and anybody else that's been doing this for a long time be the first one to tell you the last thing they want is someone up on the roof or someone up on the wall or someone setting trusses or
Mhm.
someone that is just scared and can't do nothing. Because I might need you. I
Yeah.
might truly be in a bind one day and need you, and you're gonna be froze up over there looking dumb.
Mhm.
And you could have just said, "Hey, bro, I need a ground job because I'm scared. I'm gonna
I
fall."
don't do heights. I've
I
met a
don't
lot of
do
guys.
heights,
I've met
man.
a lot
You
of
know.
guys who don't do heights, and I've seen different foremen rip on guys. Like me, I don't like confined spaces. Like that's one
Right,
thing. It's like
right,
no, I'm
right,
not going down there. Like I mean, unless it's
right.
like,
Yeah.
dude, that ain't
No,
happening.
that's why I'm the big guy. I'm not
Yeah,
going in there.
let's stay up here, man.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
go down if you like.
I'll
though.
hand you stuff all day.
Yeah, whatever you need, I will be your man.
Yeah,
But
I'll
I'm
get
not
you out
going
there
down
when you
there.
need me to.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely. But I ain't going down there.
you can't
It,
pick me up. I'm not going down in there.
but it's all and how it gets you to. One of my best friends, he was 36 years old, and he liked rebuilding old Cadillacs and cars like that. And anyway, I was going with the sad theme, but he was outside, and like I mean, you know, he's on the roller just underneath the car. He had her jacked up enough so he could get under her, and he was trying to get this alternator on before supper. Now, an alternator's not the biggest thing in the world, but it ain't the smallest.
No.
And that fell from about 18 inches and caught him the right way in the head.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't
like,
take much, man.
it don't take much,
It
man.
just
So
doesn't,
be
dude.
careful. Put your gear on, like, cause it's the
But that's
same thing.
also why that the tradesmen are getting their proper dues as far as money these days.
Yes,
Is
sir.
because, you know, all these things are that's all things you have to take into consideration
Mhm.
in any of the trades that you go into, unless you can somehow figure out how to make a living carrying a plunger around.
I had a fella tell me one time. He goes, "You know what?" And these electricians, they back in the day, they had quite an attitude on them because nothing could be done before the electrician was there, right? So you'd have guys flexing on this stuff, and he goes, "You know why we get paid so much money?" I'm like, "Please inform me as to why," which we weren't getting paid a lot of money at the time. He's like, "Because of all the school we have to take and all the stuff we have to do." I'm like, "Well, look around. Every one of these trades has to go to school, and they all have to know stuff too. Let me be real with you. Why they're paying you what they're paying you is because you got a life expectancy figured out by someone else that the probability of this is likely going to happen to you by this time."
Well,
So,
truly, the reason why
you
that
know,
you get paid what you get paid is because if you don't know what you're doing,
mm,
all right, for example, if if a plumber comes in and messes up, then yeah, there's going to be some water damage, and there's going to be some damage that needs to be replaced. If an electrician doesn't know what he's doing and messes up, well, then you just burnt the job site down.
Yep, that's how I've always thought
And
about it. Always, always, always.
it comes down to, which one's the riskiest, not as far as life, as far as you could mar the whole, like you didn't just create a
Yeah.
leak over here and some damage, bro. You just burnt the house down because you didn't know what you was
cut
doing.
one corner. You
And
cut one corner. It can be one plug that you were
yeah,
whatever, and like I would let guys go for that. I said, with plugs the closest thing to the ground, the most likely person to touch it is a child. That is a fact. So if you don't have that thing wired up and it's exactly the way it's supposed to be, or you pulled stranded cable when you were supposed to pull solid cable, and one of them little wires just happens to be around there one of them days, and somebody gets it, that's people don't realize how dangerous it is.
it's
It takes
so dangerous, man.
0.5 of an amp to send your heart into arrhythmia.
Well,
There's
electrician,
15 amps sitting at that plug in your house, right?
an electrician that is irresponsible
Yeah.
can run aground somewhere
Oh
and
man.
kill somebody on the
Mhm.
other side of the house 20 years down the road because
Yep.
they go to change a pipe out and that pipe happens to be a dead ground,
Yep.
or
And they
burn
got an
somebody's house
unbalanced
down,
load
or,
on the neutral, and as soon as they pull
I
that
mean,
thing, she
so
Yep.
it's one of those deals that, I
Yep.
mean, but at the same time, if a plumber doesn't do his job, then there's going to be damage that's going to be done, and you're going to set back the job site. If the carpenter doesn't know what they're doing, then you're going to have structural issues, and you're going to have issues so it really is a trade. It's a skilled trade. You have laborers at work, and you
Yep.
have the skilled men at work. And the laborers, in my opinion, if they're good laborers, they should be doing everything they can to learn everything that the other guys are doing, so that they'll not be the laborer one day and they'll be the skilled guy one day. And
Exactly.
that's the way the chain. But everybody wants to go. Like I told my son when he started talking about going to welding, I'm like, look, man, you go do it through
Yep.
school and everything, but just know that you're getting the very basics under your belt. Don't expect that you're
To
going to go
show up
hire
and
in
be boss
somewhere
hoss
as,
over there. Yep.
that's
Mhm.
not the way it works. They're going to respect the fact that you went to school and you got your little certificate, but then you're going to have to show them
You
that
can
you can
do it.
apply what you've learned, and then they're going to actually teach you how to weld.
Yep.
And then they're going to teach you how to
They'll
actually do
show you
it.
how we do it, really.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's
Yeah.
that's the way that, I think that's why that the trades, well, I think that's why the trades kind of got put on the back burner for so long, was
Mhm.
because, kids were like, well, I'll just go to college and learn to do something sitting behind a desk. Well, now that market's flooded with everybody doing that, but all those people that are making good money are like, man, I need somebody to build my house.
Well, I tell you,
I need somebody to fix my toilet,
easily half of the guys that I graduated high school with, 80% of them ended up going to university. And out of that 80%, 50, maybe 55% of them now are tradesmen and have been for the last 15, 20 years. Because they went, and I mean, they weren't dummies, they were smart guys. But
Mm.
I mean, there was already 100,000 people taking computer science. We don't
Right.
need more computer scientists.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
yeah.
I
mean-
mean, house builders, electricians, whatever, plumbers, carpenters, you name it.
I'm
we
just
need
so glad that the trades are getting a positive light shined on them these
Yeah.
days, because it did go for years and years
it.
that,
Mhm.
oh, he's just a carpenter. He's the
Right,
dude
he was-
building your house.
Yeah.
How about that? Like,
Up
he's,
here it was worse. If you had a tattoo and you were a tradesman, you were also associated as an ex-convict. Now maybe
Oh,
that
yeah,
came
yeah,
true
yeah.
later.
yeah, I'm
but-
total and none of my
Yeah.
tattoos came from prison, but
No, exactly.
It's like, whatever.
But you'll let
Yeah.
me in your house, so like, tell me what that says about you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Or what
Yeah.
used to really, it would be one of these deals where you got doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs that want to hire you on as a carpenter or as a laborer, whatever it is that you're doing, trade wise.
Yeah.
Now they'll look at you like you're crazy to charge them 50,
Oh
60 bucks
yeah.
an hour.
Oh
But
yeah.
yet you go to them, you go to a doctor, and it'll
250 an
cost you
hour.
$250 just to get to walk back there to see him. God only knows what else it's going
Yeah.
to cost by the time he gets
These
done.
fees are outrageous. $30
Oh, he sticks
an
a pair
hour.
of rubber gloves on. You've had a bad day all the way around.
And
While
I
it's
gotta
getting
pay
hit,
for this?
yep, you're probably going to get
Aren't
something
you
you didn't
supposed to be
really
wearing
want.
gloves? At least wash your hands, please.
At least, yeah, man. Yeah,
Right.
change gloves.
Yeah,
Change gloves, man. At least.
exactly.
At
Well,
least.
folks, it's
Crystal
been a
Phoenix in
ride.
the house. Good to see you. She said, "Hey guys, good to see you. Good to see you
too.
too, our friend. Thank you for
Yeah,
being here."
absolutely.
Brother AB in the house. No safety, no pain. No safety, no pain.
Mm.
Indeed. Indeed. I agree with that. And as I gotten a little bit older, I agree with it even more.
Yeah.
You know, I never was one to take like at work and stuff. I didn't take. Now I know there was times I probably should have been tied off on roofs that we
You've
worked.
definitely
And
done it. I've done it too.
I know
Hanging over the
that,
side of
but I
roofs.
still thought myself through. You know,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
didn't allow myself to get like where it was like you're not thinking at all, because that, you know,
No.
like, nah, I kept my mind on what was going on. Like, I don't want to fall. I don't want to get hurt.
That's where
I don't.
sometimes safety and applied knowledge, I'll say that, right? Because there's certain things like I'll do, but I would never ask an apprentice to do it, right? Never. That was always my philosophy. I'm never going to ask you to do something I would never do myself. But there's certain things that you're like, I know for a fact to do this overhead tie, I got to be on my back. There's nothing to tie off to anyway. This harness I'm got wrapped around me is more of an obstacle than anything. So you got to kind of pick and choose your battles there, right? Because I know here with safety, especially if you're using for or working for big companies, like there's a lot of stuff where like I got heat for it and could have lost my job, but I was able to explain why I did it that way. I said, if I'm walking around with a 4-foot lanyard on a retractable that I got nothing to tie off to except the weather vane that I've put in here to run the wires down through, that ain't gonna do me no good. Like, you know what I mean? They got 30 pounds of pull on them. I'm 200 pounds. I fall down, it's, you know what I mean? We're done. Whereas I just lay on my back, I'm up there, and you have a guy on the scaffold below in case you roll or you go the wrong way. You have to think it through. But sometimes, yeah, because do y'all have safety officers down there, like the show?
Yeah,
up on-
OSHA. You have
Oh yeah,
OSHA,
okay,
and
so
then
it's
you
the same
have
as here.
you
OSHA,
have
yeah.
you know, to me, any good superintendent should be as good as any safety officer.
Yes, sir.
You know, if
Better,
you're the
better. Should
superintendent
be
on
better.
that job,
Yeah.
then you should be man enough or woman enough to go to anybody on that job site and say, "Look, I want to see them safety glasses on your face when you're, you know, cutting, hammering, stuff like that." Or, hey, you know, make sure we got our steel toe boots on, because,
Yep.
you know, we're at a job site where, you know, probably gonna want it, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
whatever it is, or hey, man, you know, I don't want to see you up there on that without being tied off. Remind people that's
Yep.
what you're supposed to do. But you see these, I tell you what, man, one of the worst things as a superintendent, you can be a friendly boss, but you can't be a friend boss.
No, you can't.
You've got to draw a line at like, hey, man, this is, at some point you got to say, look, really the way I say is the way it goes.
Yeah.
Good talk, but this is the way it's
Distance
going
is
to be.
exactly.
This is the way it's going to be.
Yeah. And
And
if you don't like it, there's the highway. So
oh
see you later.
yeah, yeah. Then
Yeah.
we got a different conversation we can have.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now that I know where you stand,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that would be, to me, you know, the worst thing that could happen would be on a job site where you see somebody get hurt, and 5 minutes before you were thinking they're going to get hurt.
Uh-huh. Yeah, been there.
Well, be man enough or woman enough to say, look, man,
Yeah.
there's a better way to do that. Don't,
And
you know,
yeah.
don't
And then
do that.
And then
You're
you
gonna
always
wind up.
got the ones that are like, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, on you, man. Like on the big jobs, that was the big thing, is the trades didn't so much in my experience, like when it was big oil, because everybody was trying to get everything done at the same time. So there was a lot of like corner cutting and stuff like that. I'd be like, just let them go. I'm not going to be nowhere around one of these things. You got a 220-foot sky boom where if they bump into you, like moving 220 feet in the air, imagine that. Moving something on the ground with no flaggers, no nothing at nighttime. Best case scenario, you get to where you're going. Worst case scenario, something happens to that lift, you hit a hydraulic, and now that thing comes crashing down, right? So, no, we would just move jobs. If they were working around somebody dangerous and I've talked to you and you're not going to stop, and I only have so much control over the guys I'm working with, and we're different trades, so all I can do is talk to your super. If he allows that to happen, well, then we're going to move and we're going to do something smarter and safer, right? So, but yeah, you gotta think, and if you think something don't feel right, say it's something. Well, how's that thing go? Think something, say something, or see something, say something. I know that applies to something else,
Well,
but
if I see
you know,
somebody getting ready to mash their finger,
mm-hmm.
I may just say, you know what? Sometimes a mashed finger's a damn fine lesson. But if I
Yeah,
see somebody getting ready to lose a finger, then I'm man enough to be like, man, you might not want to do that.
yeah,
You might not want to do that.
don't do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
do.
there's a big damn difference between being a punk and trying to pull weight and actually
Mm,
seeing things that's unsafe.
mm-hmm.
If it's unsafe and I know it's unsafe and I'm just like, dude, there's a thin line between that hurting you and killing you. I'm
And
telling you,
honestly, sometimes
you
you
know.
forget. Like, there's been
And
times I
yes,
forgot where
remind them like,
the guy,
hey,
hey, tie off. Be like, oh yeah,
get that thing
thank
tied off,
you,
bro.
thank you for
Don't,
that, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
don't do that. Or
yeah,
in a bucket
mm-hmm,
truck, man. Put your safety harness on because if a
mm-hmm.
branch comes out, hits that, and it reflects up, it's going to sling
That's
you
the
right
thing
out
that
of the
people,
bucket, man.
man, that's a great point. That's
It's
the thing
like,
that a lot of people don't know. Those things are like a friggin'
oh,
catapult.
it's a
So,
what you might dude, you
yeah,
might as well kiss your hind end. You better hope the
uh,
tree limb kills you
yeah,
because it's going to
yeah.
suck. You're going to
Oh,
fly
it's
through
gonna
the
hurt.
air
It's
flipping
it's gonna
around.
hurt. This is definitely gonna hurt.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
net down there to land on.
No,
You
there's
know.
a nice metal grating though,
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? So,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But
Well,
anyway,
and that just comes down to man, the whole job site is really, it really is set up to kill you. Uh,
mm-hmm.
you're doing stuff all the time that a little tiny accident can help you. So, I mean, I say it and I mean it in the most hearted way. The last thing I'd want to see is anybody get hurt in a way where, I mean, a mashed finger's a mashed finger, but
That,
you
no,
know,
you don't
man,
want to see
losing your
somebody.
arm or losing your finger or something, and
Yeah,
all I'd have had to
life.
do was maybe just have like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
let's put a clamp on that instead of you holding on to that because that's kind of short. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put a
Mm-hmm.
clamp on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
a clamp
I
works
do.
great. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it happen too many times. People come close to doing something, and you're like, yeah, I won't do that. I'm not gonna make that same mistake. I ain't doing that one.
Fool me once. Yeah.
Yeah, you almost lost a finger right there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
no, I ain't putting my finger there. No, no.
Uh,
Don't need to learn that one myself. No,
hope you're
nope.
all having a safe Monday at work and that this
Yeah,
has
don't
been
mash your finger.
informative talk. You know what I mean? But
Well, of course, it's
stay
informative.
safe.
It's
No,
always good to
stay
have these
safe.
kinds of
Stay
conversations
safe.
because I
Yeah.
think there might be somebody at work maybe that heard that and says, you know what, he's right.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I'll just go ahead and put my safety belt on while we're listening to Guy and Shine 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Always good vibes. We appreciate all of you guys being here. We got Els Endeavor stopped in. Hey there.
Hey, thank you. Els.
Brother AB. He said
AB.
he's
Yeah.
been a full-time
Safety
safety
officer.
director for 15 years now. So I bet he's seen some of the
Yep.
stupidest accidents that,
I do
unforeseen
not.
accidents.
That's a job where I really empathize for you guys because some of the stuff.
Oh, they get a bad rap, but they're needed.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
I mean,
I got a good buddy of mine that does it as well, and you know what I mean. Like he comes from a carpentry background, like you, and now he does the NSCO. I think they call him up here, National Safety Officer,
yep.
whatever. And he's on it, but he's fair. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's just like you said, there's some people that just shouldn't be there. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Well,
there's
see,
been a ton of guys I've met where I'm like, you should never have been allowed to been given any kind of tool, let alone let off that bus to be on this job.
yeah.
Like
Well,
walking
this
over,
is the
you
dilemma
know,
that I feel like that people try to put safety officers in.
yeah.
You didn't have to do that. No, if it is part of the rules that's set out for him
Mhm.
to do, he has to do it because if he'll let you slack on one,
You'll
he'll
slack
let
on
you
two.
slack on any of them.
Mhm.
And if he don't, and that has to be that way. It has to be every safety officer has to be what is considered to be, oh God, here he comes on the job site, because they know, like, hey, by the book. It's by the book. I got to do it this way because
I
this
suggest
is the
getting to
way I know
your
I'm
safety
keeping you
officer.
safe and
Yep.
doing my job. And
Yep.
by the book,
I
period.
never had any trouble with any inspector or safety officer ever, but that's because I was taught by good guys who taught me how to do things right. I made mistakes, I've got in trouble, but I've never had a bad and I've never seen it like that because I don't know everything.
You can't.
It's not possible. So he's
Can't.
my best friend. He's the best chance of me keeping myself and my men safe. That's the guy. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yep.
And the truth is, I mean, if the rules are there for you to know, then it's your fault for not knowing them.
That's
It
right.
ain't his fault.
It's the same as your
It-
trade. If you don't know what your spacings are supposed to be or your balance
Well,
is
then you
supposed
need to get a book.
you need to learn. Do some
You
book
know,
learning, boy.
You know, you need to go get you a book.
That's right. That's right.
You can go to jail if you told someone to do something that you knew was wrong or dangerous. Absolutely, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
should.
Yep, there was
And
a
you
few,
should.
few fellas at a job, CNRL up here, and they ended up going to prison because they told a young fella, go up to the coker, make this splice. He was a residential electrician working an industrial job. He went and made a splice. He was like all of like 3 weeks in the trade. Now that's supposed to be explosion proof, so on, etc. The place caught fire, burnt down, 4 or 5 guys died in that.
Not cool.
So when those fellas got time, I didn't feel
No,
good.
that doesn't hurt my
Too many-
feelings. No,
Too many
No.
things had to go wrong for that to
no,
happen.
no, I ain't sending you no commissary neither.
Nope.
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 No,
Not at
Diamond in the Sticks, thank you for being here. And AB, appreciate you, man. Thank you. I hope you have a great day at work. And keep everybody safe, man, for real. I didn't know that. I knew that he worked in the trades, but I didn't know that he had been a safety officer. So that's really cool. That's funny how conversations come up and then you wind up with somebody that knows exactly like. Hey, and a lot of times safety is a common sense and apply it kind of thing. Like
they
if
say,
if you
common
thought you
sense
should
ain't
do
so
it, you probably
common no
should.
more.
Applied common sense is not so common no more.
Yeah.
That's for sure, man. That is for sure, man. But Diamond in the Stick says, please like, share, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
guys.
you. Appreciate you. All of you guys. We appreciate you guys being here with us, man. It's been a great afternoon. Sharing with everybody. Let me get up here and
Hooty
I'm gonna
hoo.
get us a outro video ready to go. I'm gonna play Brother Tommy's little song that he wrote for us.
Sure.
That he done, out of the
Yeah.
comment section. So this is really everybody's song. So shout out to you guys. We appreciate y'all being here. We'll be here Wednesday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, and Friday, same 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. We also do a restream through the night. So if you have a chance, come by and support. Maybe just turn us on for a little bit, give us a like and a watch for a few minutes. We'd appreciate it. But either which way, we don't care. We just appreciate you being here. Always good vibes,
Have a
guys.
great day, guys.
Got a fire in my soul, yeah, it's burning bright. Guy Bandy told me just to follow the light. Well, I heard the people singing with all their might. So I hit the ground running, and I ran all night. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Well, I ran into my family, and I ran into my friends, and I ran into people that I didn't know then. And I said to them, hey, I could use a hand. And then I ran and I ran, and I ran and I ran. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. Well, the children and the elders and the strangers and the neighbors and the doctors and the teachers and the farmers and the bakers and the scientists and builders and the singers and the players and the buskers and the dancers and the dreamers and the painters and the coaches and the helpers and the artists and creators and the yogis and the healers and the preachers and the changers and the people and the planet and the forests and the rivers and the mountains and the oceans and the future and the vision. And the buskers and the patience and the future and the vision. Run, run.